Okay, guys, I'm back for my first video of the year. The Royal Rumble 2023 review will be up sometime this weekend, maybe. I will get it though. But today, 2K dropped the roster for WWE 2K23, and as I've always done, I am going to get my thoughts on it while telling you the entire roster. And I will also let the entire roster in the description of this video. And people who are new to the game, new to 2K23, will be marked with an asterisk. Now, all that really means is they weren't in 2K22. Because some of the people who are definitely new to 2K23 have been in this series before, but are new to 2K23, but weren't in 2K22, and some are just overall new to the series. So, who made the cut for the WWE2K23 roster, excluding the DLC that we don't know about yet, and all the extra Cenas for Showcase? Here is the roster. We have the phenomenal AJ Styles, who has become a mainstay in the series since WWE2K17. We have Akira Tozawa. Is he going to be a ninja again? We have Alba Fyre, who debuted last year's Kaylee Ray, now with her new gimmick of Alba Fyre. We have Alexa Bliss. Not crazy Alexa Bliss, or Fiend Alexa Bliss, or whatever it was. Yeah. Then we have our first new addition to the roster, Aliyah, who apparently was asked if she was even in this game and said she wasn't. So I don't even know if Aliyah even knew she was in it or not. But yeah, good for Aliyah, I guess. She's been irrelevant for, what, over almost a year now? Nothing against her, I'm stating a fact about that. Then we have Andre the Giant, Angel Garza, Angelo Dawkins, Apollo Crews, Askua, who sadly won't be the murder clown, so that's not happening. Because she just literally debuted at the Royal Rumble. Austin Theory, the U.S. champion. Our first DLC from last year, now in the base game, but with an entirely different character, as it's Axiom, who was A-Kid last game. So I might count Axiom as a new addition, because technically Axiom the character is new, but A-Kid isn't. But, Axiom as the character is new. Then we have our pre-order bonus, Bad Bunny, although according to 2K, if you actually get the deluxe edition, he's already included in that anyway, but even if you get that pre-order anyway, it's a pre-order bonus, so, there. Then we have Batista, who also has this Leviathan look from OVW if you get the Icon edition, which is a digital download only. Then we have the leader of Damage Control, Bayley. Then we have Big Time Becky Lynch, because that is what she is in this game, is Big Time Bex. Then we have Beth Phoenix. Her render's updated. I don't know if her game model is. I would doubt it is, but it could be. Could be as of last Royal Rumble, so there's that. Then we have the current Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, the Big Boss Man, Big E, who even knows where his career is going to go when he comes back from his injury. Bobby Lashley, making his on-disc debut is the Boogeyman. He was DLC last year. Now he's as generally happens, he has made a on-disc person. Then we have Booker T, our first released and brought back person between 2K22 and 2K23, as Braun Strowman makes the cut. We have Bret Hitman Hart. Then we have someone who wasn't released, was at the 2022 Royal Rumble, but wasn't in 2K22 as a whole, and that is Brie Bella, who is technically new to 2K23, but not to the series, last appearing in WWE 2K20. So then we got the British Bulldog back for another round, and on disc this time. He was DLC last year. Then we have Brock Lesnar who has current Cowboy Brock, and his OVW Brock Lesnar. Then we have Bron Breakker, the NXT champion, who's probably going to get called up after Stand and Deliver when he loses the NXT title to Carmelo Hayes. Hopefully, anyway, because there's nothing else for him to do on NXT. Then we have the probably biggest out-of-nowhere rando surprise ever, as Bruno Sammartino is making his return to the 2K series. Hasn't been in this series since 2K14. So then we have Brutus Creed of the Creed brothers. Thought they would be DLC, quite frankly. But then again, half the members of the NXT roster in this game I thought would be DLC. So then we have Butch, formerly known as Pete Dunne, making his, what is this, 4th game in the series, 2K19, 20, 21, 22 in this game? Yeah. Then we have Cactus Jack, making his return from last game as DLC, but now a base game character. Then we have Cameron Grimes, who's going to take 2K23 to the moon! Although he hasn't really been taking NXT to the moon lately, I don't really know where he's been. Then we have Carmella. Then we have a guy who I personally feel is probably the most bulletproof you can get on, even on the main roster, because I think he just has an it factor about him that he will take whatever WWE gives him and just turn it into something, and that's Carmelo Hayes, making his debut in the series. Then we have Chad Gable, and then we have, we have Cedric Alexander, because no Cesaro for AEW reasons. Then we have Cedric Alexander. Then we have Chad Gable, who wants you all to shoosh. We have Charlotte Flair, because of course you're going to have Charlotte Flair, like, even if she's gone for an entire year, she'll be in these games. She's not going anywhere. Then we have Chyna making her 3rd straight appearance in one of these games in 2K20, 2K22, and 2K23, and if you totally want to count 2K Battlegrounds, but I don't count that. Then we have Cody Rhodes, back since in his first appearance in WWE2K17 when he was Stardust. And it's probably the man who will beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, or at least should be. I know people may want Sami Zayn due to heart reasons, but it's not happening. That's not happening. Cody Rhodes is the person to build this company around for at least a year, and that's who should beat Roman Reigns. Then we have Commander Aziz, who, yes, is outdated just by this name, because he just went back to his Dabba-Kato name, but whatever. He wasn't doing anything as Commander Aziz anyway, even when he was Commander Aziz. After Apollo Crews went back to NXT, I don't think Commander Aziz did anything, because that may be a main event. I don't watch main events. I don't know anyone who watches main events, so I wouldn't know. Then we have Cora Jade making her debut in the series, and at least you have a skateboard for Darby Allin, CAW's. She's outdated, though, but whatever. Then we have Cruz Del Toro, who was in last game, but got renamed between last game and this game. He was, what was his name last game? Raul Mendoza, now he's Cruz Del Toro. Then we have Dakota Kai, another name who was released and brought back from 2K22 and 2K23. In fact, she was released before 2K20... right before 2K22 came out, but she was brought back at the tail end of 2K23's development cycle, and since she was already in the game, they just ported her over. Then we have Damian Priest. We have Dexter Lumis, another released and brought back talent from 2K23 to 2K23. Then we have Diesel. Then we have Evil Doink the Clown, which is Best Doink the Clown, because it goes into the era at the Pennywise in the WWE. Then we have Dolph Ziggler, and are you surprised Dolph Ziggler's here? As far as I know, he's been in every game in this series in SmackDown vs. Raw 2010. So that's quite an achievement. Dominic Mysterio in his 2nd game in the series. Then we have Doudrop. She just got her old name back. She should have had it back when they fired Eva Marie, but we have her back, Alan Dis this time. Then we have Drew Gulak, the coach of NXT. Then we have Drew McIntyre, the Scottish psychopath, who I imagine him and Sheamus are going to have a banger of a match with Gunther at WrestleMania, more than likely. But we'll see about that. Then we have Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat. Then we have Edge. Then we have Elias, who is not Ezekiel. It's Elias, not Ezekiel. Then it's Eric Bischoff, back for his on-disc return to the game, because he was DLC last year as part of the NWO pack, and that was his first appearance in the WWE game as a playable character since SmackDown Here Comes the Pain 20 years ago. Nearly 20 years at that point. Then we got Eric of the Viking Raiders. Then we have Ezekiel, who is not Elias, and I am amazed that 2K is going ahead with this joke. Then we have Farouk, back for his back again. Then we have Then we have Finn Balor. I guess there's no Demon Finn Balor anymore since, Roman Reigns kind of killed that. Then we have Giovanni Vinci, who was Fabian Eichner last year and is now Giovanni Vinci. Then we have making her debut in the series, Gigi Dolan of Toxic Attraction, which isn't no more anyway since she was Janetti'd on NXT last week. Then we have Goldberg. What more you want to say about that? Then we have Grayson Waller makes his appearance in WWE 2K23. So the Grayson Waller effect will be in effect in 2K23. Then we have Happy Corbin. Yes, that's outdated since he went back to being Baron Corbin, the modern-day wrestling god that then got dunked by JBL again. So, yeah. Then we have Hollywood Hogan and Hulk Hogan. Yes, they are two different characters. Same guy, different characters. Yeah. Not much changes in moveset, but whatever. Then we have Humberto Carrillo. Then there's a storm coming because the Hurricane is in 2K23 as a base roster member this time. Then we got Ilga Dragunov, the former UK champion. Then we got Candice LeRae's daughter, Indy Hartwell. Then we have Ivar, the Viking Raiders. Then we have JC Jane of Toxic Attraction. Again, she was the Michaels to Gigi Dolan's Janetti last Tuesday by throwing Gigi through a door. Then we have Jake the Snake Roberts. Okay. In AEW right now, but I guess he signed his likeness to WWE, I guess. I don't know. JD McDonough, who was Jordan Devlin last year. Then we have Jerry the King Lawler, who's been in 3 straight games of this series right now. Then we have Jey Uso. We have Jim the Anvil Neidhart, because of course we have Jim the Anvil Neidhart. He's going to be here every game now, probably. Then we have Jimmy Uso. Then we have the modern day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. Former WWE champion Jinder Mahal. Yes, let this sink in that 2 members of 3MB have been the WWE champion. Then we have Joaquin Wilde of Legado del Fantasma. We have JBL. We have this year's cover star, John Cena, and his prototype version, his 02 version, his 06 version, his 08 version, and probably any other versions in the showcase. Then we have Julius Creed of the Creed brothers. Interesting addition there. Making his debut in a series, by the way. Then we have Kane, Karrion Kross, another person from J23 who was fired and then brought back. Then we have Katana Chance making her second appearance in the series. She was Casey Canzaro last year. Then we have her tag team partner, Kaden Carter, who probably should have been in the last game but wasn't, but that's the way things go sometimes. As the 2K22 DLC was probably set before when 2K21 would have been came out, but that game got canceled. So I mean, that's why that didn't happen. Then we have Kevin Nash. And I'm assuming the NWO Kevin Nash, 2K just didn't want to put Kevin Nash twice on their list. Oh, and also Johnny Gargano is also in here. He had to get rid of that himself, because 2K let him off the list. I don't know why they did that, but they did. Then we have Kevin Owens. We have Kofi Kingston. Making his return to the series after 2K20 was Kurt Angle. I have no idea why he was not in 2K22, but it wasn't due to the wrestling code. Then we have L.A. Knight. Will be making his on-disc debut in 2K23. Then we have Lacey Evans. She probably will not be updated for her new look. I doubt she would. Then we have Liv Morgan. We have Lita, who's making her return from WWE2K20. I don't know why she wasn't in the last game either, but she is technically new to this game, because she wasn't in the last game. Then we have Logan Paul, who seemed like a weird selection last year to be put in this game, but he's a natural at pro wrestling, so have at it. And he's under contract now, so. Then we have Ludwig Kaiser, the former Marcel Barthel. Then we have Mace, who's now Marseille, but this is based on when he was teaming with Chi-Bar, so there you go about that. Then we have the Macho Man Randy Savage, making his whatever it is appearance in the series by now. Then we have Mansoor, who's now Mansoor in Maximum Male Models. I don't care about Maximum Male Models. Then we have Matt Riddle, who has his first name back. He's been in the M's and the R's in this game. Then we have Maurice. We have Molly Holly, who's making a return to the series, last being seen in WWE2K20. We have Montez Ford of the Street Profits. We have Mr. McMahon, who I guess forced his way to be back into this game. We have Mustafa Ali, who I don't even think wants to be in this company anymore, but whatever. We have MVP. We have Natalia. We have Nikki ASH, who, yes, that gimmick is outdated, but she was new. Nikki ASH from most of this game's development, so what do you expect? Oh, and I forgot about Dana Brooke, so, yeah. Then we have Nikki Bella, who's new to WWE2K23, last being seen in WWE2K20. Then we have another new addition to 2K20 I also thought was going to be DLC, and Nikita Lyons from NXT. Then we have Noam Dar, who is new to 2K23, who wasn't in 2K22. So, in fact, now he's not even in the WWE anymore. So, then we have Omos, who was DLC last year. We have Otis, who is Otis. We have Queen Zelina, back from WWE2K20 and also outdated because she forgot of Phantasma now and she's not a queen anymore. But she will be in Street Fighter 6 as a commentator. Then we have Randy Orton at his 2002 OVW version. Then we have Raquel Rodriguez, who used to be Raquel Gonzalez. Then we have Razor Ramones. That would be 3 Scott Halls, more likely. Then we have Reggie making his debut in the series. Not as Scripps, but as Reggie. Then we have Rey Mysterio, the winner of the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble, in Rhea Ripley, who hopefully beats Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania and erases what happened at Pandemic Mania. Then we have Rick Boogs. Then we have Ricochet. We have making his debut in the series Ridge Holland. So the Brawling Brutes are here. We have Rikishi and Rob Van Dam, both returned to UK22. We have Robert Roode. We have the head of the table, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Acknowledge him, like Sami Zayn is probably going to do at Elimination Chamber, much to a lot of people's dismay, but that's what's going to happen. Then we have Ronda Rousey, who's been DLC, who actually has a pattern now. DLC in her first game, DLC in 2K19, base roster 2K20, DLC in 2022, and 2K22, and base game here. If she's in 2K24, probably DLC again. Then we have Roddy Piper in his third straight appearance in the series. Then we have, who I also thought was going to be DLC, and Roxanne Perez. That's unique. I believe she's the youngest person in this game. In fact, she grew up playing these games, now she's in one. That's probably ought to be a lifelong dream for her, but whatever. Then we have R-Truth. Then we have Sami Zayn. We have Santos Escobar from the Legado Fantasma. Then we have Scarlett. Now, Scarlett was a manager in 2K22, but she's apparently going to be playable in this game, despite the fact Scarlett has not had a match in this company ever. At least with Lana, when they made her playable in 2K19, she actually had a couple matches at least. Scarlett has not had a match at all, so are they going to copy Karrion Kross's moveset to her, or are they just going to, or do they go through and look at her stuff before she came to WWE? That's a very interesting thing about that. But as a playable character, she'd be making her debut as a... Excuse me. We're making her playable debut. Then we have Scott Hall, and probably his NWO version. Then we have Seth Rollins. We have Shane McMahon, who was sent home at the end of last year's Royal Rumble. So, yeah, that's way outdated there. But then again, he's a McMahon, so I guess the McMahon's just in this game for life anyway, no matter what their status in the company is. Then we have Shanky making his debut in the series, presumably with Jinder Mahal. So there we got that. Then we have Shawn Michaels. Then we have Shayna Baszler. We have Sheamus, so him and McIntyre. Then we have Shinsuke Nakamura, who I don't know if he's even still in the company or not, or if he's still in Japan or where he's at. I know they took him. I know he was allowed to go work Great Muta's retirement show at New Year's Day, but then we have Shotzi. Then we have Solo Sikoa. So the entire Bloodline is in this game. Now, whether this is Bloodline Solo Sikoa, I seriously doubt. It's probably NXT Solo Sikoa. But the entire Bloodline is here. Then we have Sonya Deville. Then we have Stacy Keibler back from last game, which was DLC. Then we have Stone Cold Steve Austin. We have Stephanie McMahon. We have Syxx, who was DLC last year. We have Tamina. We have T-Bar, who finally gets his part of his name back, and at least in video games is stuck with that stupid Retribution name. Since he went back to being Dijak. Then we have Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. We have The Miz. We have The Rock, because, of course, he's in the showcase, too, by the way. That's why he's here. We have Titus O'Neil. Famous now for the Titus World Slide! World Slide! At the Royal Rumble. Then we have, at the GUR, Then we have Tommaso Ciampa. Or, I guess he'll just be Ciampa. I don't really know what his name's going to be at that point. We have Triple H. We have Papa H, who's now in control of WWE Creative. What a difference a year has made for that, huh? Then we have Trish Stratus. We have Tyler Bate, no Trent Seven. We have the Ultimate Warrior, because he's a mainstay in this company in games now. We have Umaga, back from DLC last game. We have The Undertaker, and I'm assuming at least the 2002 Undertaker, maybe all the other ones that were in last game. I don't really know. Then we have Vader, back from DLC in WK22. He's coming to WWE2K23. Veer Mahan, who will probably still be coming when 2K24 is out. He'll probably still be coming to 2K23 by the time 2K24 is released. Then we have Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion, and the guy who just set a Royal Rumble record that is probably never going to be broken again. Because I doubt they're going to have anyone last over 71 minutes in a Royal Rumble again. In a traditional Royal Rumble, so. Then we have the North American Champion in NXT Wesley. We have Xavier Woods. We have Xia Li. We have X-Pac. We have Yokozuna. And making her debut in the series, we have Zoe Stark. That is it. The entire roster for 2K23, which technically, if you count all the other Ruthless Aggression things and things like that, I think it's 180 something. But if you don't count them, it's 174. So that's a fairly big roster. Now, of course, Bray Wyatt is missing. I was expecting Bray Wyatt to be on disc anyway. He came back in October, so since he came back in October, I was expecting him to be in this game. So I imagine he'll be DLC though. Emma's missing, but she'll probably be DLC. Hit Row's missing, but I don't really care about Hit Row. They don't have, without Swerve Scott, there's no reason for him to even be brought back. Tegan Nox, couldn't put her. Tegan Nox, Mia Yim, Candice LeRae, those are some of the people in 2K19 that are missing. Oh, and also I forgot Io Sky is in the game too. So there it is. I think that's a really good roster. I don't know what they're going to do with DLC. I imagine at least one pack's going to be like Bray Wyatt, Hit Row, Emma, and Bronson Reed. If I had to take a pick, I would suggest that's the most logical of the 5 packs we're getting. I don't know what the other 5 one will be. When 2K announces that, I'll give a video about that. And like I said, I'm going to try out the Royal Rumble review up this weekend, right after Elimination Day, right before it. So if you like this video, like button down there, subscribe button down there, and thank you for watching. Bye.